8669, paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
And here's what you need to know.
Week 8 in the NFL came to a close on Monday Night Football in Kansas City, where the Chiefs beat the Giants 20-17. Kansas City was down at home 14. They got 17-14 in the fourth quarter. They get a couple of Harrison Butker field goals to close out the scoring, including the game winner from 34 yards out with 1:07 to play to get the victory. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes in the win, 29 of 48 passing, 275 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He also had a late INT negated by a Giants offside penalty. Kansas City with a win, now 4-4 on the season. Giants dropped to 2-6. News from the NFL, where Tennessee Titans star running back Derrick Henry is expected to miss the rest of the season. He'll need surgery for a foot injury. He's officially listed as out indefinitely. New Orleans Saints quarterback Jameis Winston is going to miss the rest of the season. He suffered a torn ACL and damage to his MCL in his left knee on Sunday. And the Denver Broncos traded former Super Bowl MVP, 8-time Pro Bowl linebacker Von Miller to the LA Rams for second and third round picks in 2022. The trade deadline in the NFL, 4 p.m. Eastern today.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Dana Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Dana Trucking.
Good morning, happy Tuesday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break, full show ahead, Rick Kaczynski, Robin Washut, and more. How are you today? What are you doing there?
I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Doing some aerobics over there or what?
No, I mean, I think we're a little scattered today. I got to get locked in.
We shouldn't be scattered. We were both here early today. I don't know why we're scattered.
Yeah,
you don't have your coffee. You couldn't find your coffee cup. I told you it's in my office somewhere.
You know, I mean, sometimes the human condition is such that you're just not quite right. And I don't have any excuse today. I mean,
hey, you said it, not me.
I mean, don't you wonder when serious conversation, adult conversation, like when Adrian has that type of game, the thought crossed my mind, and this is the result of discussions with coaches over the years, that maybe he was having a bad day off the field. Maybe something happened, maybe his girlfriend and they got in a fight or something. I mean, you never know. I discovered that one time I had a conversation. I want to say it was with Frank Solich, but it was because it was back in that era. But it was really illuminating about how it show up after they might study, and they show up after the death of a family. There's various things that can affect a kid. I'm not suggesting that that's what the deal was with Adrian, but man, I mean, I just wonder like what the deal was.
Sometimes you have a bad day.
I know. Yeah, I know. And sometimes I have a bad day.
To find an excuse for why he did not play well on Saturday?
Not an excuse. No. But it's interesting. Addy boy. All right, that's enough.
Some days you just have a bad day without an excuse of something happening before.
Right,
and I don't see the field right.
I feel like I have some leeway to say that about Adrian because I constantly defend him, right?
Yes, as the Adrian apologist or defender.
How about defender?
How is it not the same thing? A defender is an apologist, basically, right?
Apologist has some negative connotations. That's
essentially, if you went to a thesaurus, I think they'd be in the same category.
Well, first of all, I would go to a thesaurus. I don't know exactly what a thesaurus is.
I've always said thesaurus. Like dinosaur. They don't say a dinosaur, do you? S-A-U-R.
Apologist has negative connotations that I prefer not attached to me. Defender.
I prefer not attached to me. Are you telling me thesaurus is a thesaurus?
Yes.
There's no way.
Ask your mom or your
text
dad.
Line. Is it thesaurus or thesaurus? I've never heard thesaurus used that way, said that way. But again, I'm not always in the know on everything. I think it's the
Vegas
source,
Bobcat weighs in.
What's he got?
The Vegas Bobcat.
Good morning,
said,
Vegas.
Yes. Good morning, Vegas. You are defending an average player. All right, we're off to.
I'd ask
wonderful
Vegas:
start.
is a defender also an apologist? Is that not the same thing?
Vegas.
One's a negative connotation, but still is the same word. It's just in a different setting. I don't know. It's just a different word, and it has a different tone to it, but it is the same thing, basically.
Nope, I disagree.
Like I don't. Here's the thing. I love the Dolphins. I'm a defender of them, though. I criticize them all the time. I always criticize them.
You're not an
I'm
apologist.
No, because I always criticize and say these guys are morons. The GM is an idiot.
All right, what's on your mind right now?
Oh, there's plenty of things. 464-5685, call or text as always. Yesterday's press conference, what was you were there? What was the main thing you took away from that?
Well, you know what it was.
Just I want to hear from you.
I mean, there was a comment that Frost said that I would say got a lot of people's attention, right?
Yes.
And he was talking about his job status. He was asked a very good question by Eric Olson that elicited this answer. I mean, he was asked, first of all, about the outside talk and how much he pays attention to it. And that he gave a pretty good answer.
Give you that one here. Here's Scott Frost.
How much does he pay attention to the outside speculation about his job?
Sure. Here's Scott Frost to that question there.
You know, I don't pay any attention to it. It's kind of hard to ignore all, talk in any situation. There's an article written about me 6 games into my first year, and we came off undefeated and lost our first 6 here, and they were already writing stuff. You learn as a coach not to pay any attention to that. I owe it to the kids to give them my everything. So do the coaches, and we are. And the kids are giving us everything they got right back because of our relationship with those guys. And everything else doesn't matter. We can only control what we can control.
Okay, and then the big one was when he was asked. It was a few more questions, and then there was a few more questions.
Okay,
and then he was asked how long he thinks it should take for Nebraska to get where he wants it to get. He's in his 4th year. You got that?
Is there a better way to phrase that one?
No, that's what he was asked.
Okay.
He was asked how long he thinks it should take Nebraska to get to where he wants it to go. Yes,
just read that.
He said now this is.
Hang on. I got it. Sorry, I got it. I found it. Here's the answer from Scott Frost to the question
Way to go.
Question.
Frost was asked how long he thinks it should take to get Nebraska where he wants it.
We're close. I don't want to overstep here, but I'm really excited about the rest of this year. I'm really excited about next year. I hope we get it. I think we should. And like I said, with the young guys we got coming back and an opportunity to go out and get a few more pieces to add to that, I think this thing could be really good. I really thought this year it would pop, and we've been so close. When you're so close and you don't get it done, that unfortunately you have a mindset when we got here that we've been beat a lot, and winning's a habit, losing's a habit. Trying to break that cycle just takes a few wins in a row and some momentum and a little more belief. The kids believe, but you really believe when it happens. And gosh, we've been so close. I just want to see it happen for these guys.
Okay. The big, there's a lot there, right? Yeah.
I hope we get it was early on what he said regarding a 5th year.
Right. He said, I don't want to overstep here. You want to play that again, right that here. First part?
Yeah, I don't want to overstep here, but I'm really excited about the rest of this year. I'm really excited about next year. I hope we get it. I think we should.
Boom.
Yeah. When he said I'm really excited about next year, obviously I almost dropped my notebook because I thought, okay, what does he know he's getting next year?
I don't know if that. I think that's him setting a signal saying I'm excited about next year. Hint, hint. I'm coming back. To Trev Albert saying, well, don't even think about firing me.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure he's in position to do that. But
he's definitely not. He is definitely not in that position. I agree with you there.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, he said, "I hope we get it." And he thinks we should, and there you go. There's the conversation that's going on in our state. I don't want to say raging. I continue to be struck by how much support I hear from my emails, which I can show you, and it's interesting. Now, there's obviously I don't know what the split is for or against Frost. What percentage of the fan base is on one side of the aisle? What percentage is on the other? I don't know. I can't assess that. I just know there's a fair amount of support, and I know there's a fair amount of there's a lot of hand wringing, and there's people who flat out want to move on. But we're in that kind of year, so he's trying to sell. So what he's trying to do right now is sell. Jake, the thing we never talk about. And I don't know how to do it exactly because there's some guys I just don't know what they got. But he said that part where he said, like I said, with the young guys we've got coming back and the opportunity to go out and get a few more pieces to add to that, I think this could be really good. I don't know. There's some young guys on the team. I just don't know. I haven't seen them enough.
I'm curious. Also, do fans buy that? Are you buying that from Scott Frost that you believe it's a few pieces away from being really good? Additions, well,
that's what we wonder.
Michigan State proved you can do that in one offseason. They went from a pretty bad team last year to adding 17 guys. Not all of them are playing, but a lot of them are contributing. And of course, Kenneth Walker, the best transfer in the Big Ten this year, maybe the best transfer in the nation so far this year, has been a huge reason why for that team.
So do you buy what he's selling is what it comes down to, right? Do you trust his plan? That's what I always ask, right? Do you buy what he's selling? Do you trust his plan? Do you trust your eyes? I mean, what's your feeling?
No. My eyes don't trust it anymore. They don't. I know you're going to say, well, what about Michigan?
It October 9th. So it swung. Now,
because you take those games and to prove when you are your back's against the wall, if you have a game like that, you know what you do? You come back and win the games you're supposed to win. You don't lose them and look flat in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Those two games, I mean, if you were in the Frost corner, which I came back that way after the loss to Michigan because they had just blown out Northwestern. Mm-hmm. That was a good 2-game stretch.
Right.
I expected them to follow those results up with, all right, let's get on a little bit of a heater, not win out, but let's get to a bowl game, 6 wins, and let's do that starting off by beating Minnesota and beating Purdue. And they go into Minnesota after this great game against Michigan, and they're flat as hell in the first half, down 21-9. Come back a little bit second half. They find ways to blow it, lose the game. Mm-hmm. Purdue, they didn't start off that bad. They're up at halftime, but their second half, they came out flat.
Well, no, they didn't. Now, first of all, be careful, Jake.
They had
you're stepping in it. The defense came out smoking hot in the second half.
Well, they made mistakes. The team made mistakes then. Sorry,
but the defense was excellent. So what I'm getting at is how much of the Purdue loss you just hang on Adrian. I hate to say it, but if Adrian plays well and they're not -4 because of Martinez,
right,
-4 in the turnover category, how close are they to winning that game?
Yeah,
you can't say they came out flat in the second half because the defense was flying.
But they didn't move the ball at all in the second half.
No, they didn't.
Is that all on Adrian?
No,
I'm saying a lot of it is, but it's not all. That's on your play calling.
Yeah, they couldn't get anything going on the ground.
I mean, Adrian was a problem with his picks, but it's not like they were moving the ball when he wasn't throwing interceptions that well in the second half.
No, that's true.
That's why I say they were flat in the second half. The defense
was not flat. The defense tailed off.
Yeah,
as the mid third quarter, late third quarter into the fourth. But they came out firing. There's our friends are getting
animated,
frustrated. Yeah.
What are they frustrated with?
I mean, okay, I'll tell you what.
Please tell me
that I probably sound like an apologist. A little bit. I'm not too far. The thing that I have trouble with is that, okay, I have to verbalize this carefully. The thing I have trouble with is just taking that 3-week period and going from, yes, it's going in the right direction, and then 2 games later saying, no, it's not.
But I don't
right
think you were like sitting there saying, oh, there's no doubt this is going to work after
Do you understand
Michigan.
what I'm saying?
I do, but even at 3 and 4, I was optimistic it was going the right direction, but I wasn't like, yes, we're in. This is going to work out. I'm still like, I still have my doubts.
All right.
Because you're 3 and 4. How can anybody at that moment say, yeah, we're going to be great? We're going to end the season. I thought they would win against Minnesota and Purdue. I did. And they lost to both those teams. And that's why we sit where we're at in terms of the reassessment in a short 2 weeks of Scott Frost. Because they keep losing those games you're not supposed to lose. I mean, Happer had a great stat yesterday. He was going through the games that Nebraska has been a favorite in the Scott Frost era.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, Mike Riley as a favorite at Nebraska was 15-5. Okay. Scott Frost is 13-10 as a favorite. That is horrible.
Yeah. 15-27 overall, 11-11 at home. 15-27 overall, 11-11 at home. Again, though, I'm just telling you what I have trouble with. Just taking that 2-week period, that 2-game period, and saying it's all about that. Now you're saying it's not all about that. Vegas Bobcat said, by the way, about me, you are more than an apologist. You are reading the Nebraska PR script.
That's a great way to start a sentence. You are more than just an apologist.
Yeah, thank you, Vegas. I understand. I mean, I'm trying, Vegas. All I'm doing is trying to look at it from both sides, and try to understand both sides of the aisle. Okay, because there are 2 sides here. There clearly are, because I'm hearing from them. And I can get to a couple of those emails later in the show if you want, Jake. What are you seeing?
Well, the text line to me is an indicator of where this fan base is at. It's so divided.
Right. Thank you. So
But
you're not
read,
surprised I'm hearing support.
No, I'm not.
And people are, just so you know, when you call me an apologist and Vegas Bobcat saying I'm the PR guy, I'm getting attacked in my email for writing a negative column on Sunday.
You can't win.
Right.
You can't win.
Right.
When the team's not winning, you can't win either.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about, though.
Okay.
So we've got this is back-to-back texts by different people. Okay. And this is exactly where we're at as the fan base. One person says this, unnamed texter says, Jake, is this the Bash Frost show again? I'm shutting your negativity off. The next text from Zach says, 4 losing seasons, what do you guys need? It's so ridiculous any way you slice it. This is absolutely unacceptable at Nebraska. I mean, that right there, those 2 texts are where this fan base is at. It's all very uncomfortable.
Right. So, I mean, the thing that you're trying, okay, now, Jake, you got to reconcile some things in your mind. I think I know what you're going to say, because we do this. We have this conversation. But when I'm assessing it, I'm thinking what we said at the start of Frost's tenure, which is long runway. He needs a long runway. And I think one of the factors that was appealing to him was the idea that he would get a long runway here, right? That he wouldn't get it at a place like Florida. But here he can take his time and, like, it's a coaching cliche, but build it brick by brick. And he has to start over. And it's going to take time. And I think a lot of people that are trying to support him are looking at it that way. This was going to take time, so give him room, give him time. And right now, I do say this, and I wrote what I wrote the other day, and I don't like where it's going, but I have to remind myself to be fair in this conversation. And there's a part of me that says if you pulled the rug out from under him right now, I'm not sure I'd feel that it was 100% fair.
Well, why not?
He might deserve one more season where you say, okay, you got to show us.
What if they have a similar thing where they're losing close games again?
Well, then it's over.
Someone might say, well, they're
Right,
close.
right.
How long
feels-
can you be close before you're not actually close?
It feels like we're I mean, you got to project to next year, and I guess a lot of people are looking at next year and saying it's not going to get any better. If that's what you're saying, I can understand that.
Well, you might have a new quarterback next season, whether it's on your roster.
It sounded yesterday like you're going to.
Whether that's a guy on your roster as a backup right now, or if it's somebody as a transfer coming in.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But now, Jake, think about the conversations we have. Can you please take a breath?
I'm breathing over here.
Okay. You say we might have a new quarterback. I mean, now I could easily turn that on you and say, isn't that what you want?
Well, I mean,
you're not exactly Adrian's number one supporter.
I'm not.
So how can you use Adrian as a reason why it might not work next year if he's not here?
Because if that quarterback next season is on your current roster, I just don't know if I believe in those guys to take you to where you need to go.
I understand.
I'm not trying to,
but you understand the double talk that you just kind of did.
I'm not trying to diss Smothers or Harburg or Masker, but if those guys aren't beating out Adrian, who again is a talented quarterback, just gets in his way a lot. I don't know how I can expect those guys to come in here and all of a sudden win 6, 7, 8 games for Nebraska as backups right now. And it sounds like at times it's a pretty distant backup.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's not like they're chomping at the bit to take his job.
Right. I would say this without giving a lot. Yes. Let's just say that. It's a pretty distant backup. Okay. It is.
Someone says, I'd like to give Frost a lifetime contract. Are you sure you're not an Iowa fan?
What else are you hearing? Well, we got
calls to get to.
Yeah, let's get to our friends who obviously are listening and probably have some pretty strong opinions.
Let's go to Vince in Napa Valley, California. Vince, you're on early break. Go ahead, man.
Good morning, fellas. How are you?
Good
Vince, are you back to work?
I went back to work yesterday. Vacation was very liberating. That's the good news. The difficult news, of course, was having to go back yesterday. And you know how it is when you come back from vacation. You just come back to chaos.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Embrace the chaos. Embrace the chaos, Vince. What are you thinking right now about Nebraska football?
Well, I mean, first of all, I'll go back to the last 2-game stretch that you guys talked about. I mean, the Minnesota game. I mean, the first half we were enormously fat. I mean, that's where you wanted to put some maple syrup on those pancakes. That's how flat we were.
Yeah.
But and as far as the Purdue game was concerned, I mean, here's where I go with the defense.
Okay.
I mean, like most of the season, I mean, they've given it everything they've got. But how many drives were there in the second half where it's like first, the defense goes to the sideline and it's first down, second down, third down. Hey, punt team, get out here. I mean, because at some point you just can't keep putting that much pressure on your defensive unit. And
right.
As far as the whole conversation with Frost is concerned, I mean, it's yes, we all kind of signed on for the long runway.
Uh-huh.
But it's like I look at 2 things here. Number one, it's like it is kind of getting hard to trust his message because look at all the comments that he's made. Say, since being hired. The first one, well, we're hoping the Big Ten has to adjust to us. Well, they have. We're looking up at everybody right now. That's how they've adjusted. Number one, and this should really pop, and we're going to be really dangerous in year number 2. Well, year number 2 comes, boom, we're going home for the holidays again. Year number 3, okay, that was COVID. Year number 4, where we're at now, we've got a really good team. Well, now it's going to take a 3-game winning streak just to get to 6 games. And the exceedingly frustrating thing is this: it's like, and think about it. I mean, how many blue blood Power 5 programs are going on? Well, if we don't win 3 straight, we're going to have 5 straight years of not even winning half of our games. That's definitely not a rosy picture. But in reading between the lines of those comments that you guys played, it really, to me, I kind of looked at it like he was posturing, and
how do you mean that? How do you mean that?
Well, where he was saying, "I hope we get it. I think we should get it." To me, I mean, that's just my position. It kind of read to me as he was posturing for another year, and it showed that okay, there's some doubt that has kind of sunk in whether he will get it or not.
Okay.
And you kind of saw that in the Bill Callahan years, and you kind of saw it. I mean, you definitely saw it at the end of the Bill Callahan years, but I mean, obviously, that was a different time because at least now we have an athletic director who's going to be, reasonably transparent. Whereas, Peterson and Eichhorst, we don't need to go into those guys. They were 2-bit pieces of turd fraud, but that's another story.
Well, all right. That's where we're at, Vince. That's where we're at.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
All right, fellas.
Thank you for calling, Vince. We appreciate it. Now, posturing. Could have been fighting for his guys a little bit. A head coach, he's got a lot of people working under him. And that could have been Frost's way of, kind of going to bat for the people that are working for him as well as himself, obviously. It was interesting. Those words, I don't want to overstep here, but I'm really excited about the rest of this year. I'm really excited about next year. Mm-hmm. I hope we get it. I think we should.
Well,
yeah.
You're
pushing for.
You're in job save mode right now. Save job mode?
I think so.
How can you not be?
Well, here's how you would not be, and I don't know this. If he's been assured he'll be back,
I don't know if I like Trev assuring that.
Well, I don't know if he did. I don't know if he did, but that's the only way. Okay.
Couple texts before we get to Chris.
Yeah, hold on.
These are good texts.
We're rolling.
This from Doc on the text line.
It's nice to hear from Doc. Really is.
Doc says this: half the Nebraska fan base is literally insane, wanting the same thing over and over and over, expecting different results is insanity.
Yeah, I don't know, Doc. Now, I don't know what the percentage is. It feels like
pretty split.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know if it's getting.
I think we're in one of those years. We're in one of those years.
One more from Jordan.
It feels like the end of the Solich tenure to me.
Jordan and Lincoln, before we get to the calls, Jordan says this: how can you possibly expect things to improve next year? The numbers show what Scott is, and that trend will not be broken. It's simple math at this point. Take the emotion out of it. Not a single person would say he was fired without justification based on his performance.
Right. Now, the one thing I would tell you, and I would think about if I was Trev Alberts, think about the nature of this conversation. It's just going to continue indefinitely, or for sure through the offseason, right? And I don't know if that's healthy. Maybe it doesn't matter that much, but you always have to have recruiting in your mind, right? And the conversation at Nebraska is he going to survive another year? Now, how much does that negatively impact recruiting? That has to be a question. And then in going into next year, are we just going to have these same conversations? Unless they win every game.
Right.
I mean,
how could you not have the same conversations?
Right. Now, if you're Trev, you have to think about that. Let's
get a call from Chris. Chris, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, Steve Jake.
How are we doing,
Chris?
How are we doing, Chris?
We're doing real well, guys. Boy, you guys are on a hot button topic here.
Yeah. Oh, I know. What's your feeling?
Well, Steve, I don't know what to think about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've told you guys before that I think a lot of it is just where our program's at. I mean, in the 21st century of Nebraska football, look at it. No championship, no conference championship. We're a lot of years away from a national championship. What you guys were talking, we were talking earlier a month ago or a couple of weeks ago, we all said that they were kind of pointing to this year to be a breakout year. We had a four-year starter coming in here at going to be his fourth year at quarterback. We have a bunch of 6-year seniors on defense.
Right.
We thought that the defense would be up to snuff, and the defense has played well at times. But remember, before the season, you guys, we were thinking maybe we might have a top 30, top 25 defense.
Right.
But the latest statistics show us about mid 50s, I think, in total defense.
Yep.
Or around 50.
I'll get it. Hold on. Keep going.
Okay, but guys, for next year, I honestly think Scott's going to be here next year. I really do. But Jake, to your point, maybe breaking in a new quarterback, breaking in starters on defense and stuff. Now, I don't know if Ohio State's on the schedule next year. I take it Michigan is, but we'll probably have to go up there. Oklahoma comes here, but you guys, I don't know. The inconsistency of play is just is just what strikes me. And Steve, Jake, one more thing. I always used to sit up there in the stands in the good times there in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s and think, God, these fans that travel over here from Iowa State, Kansas State, before Bill Snyder got there, to just get slaughtered like a lamb, here at Memorial Stadium. I thought, what would it be like to be a fan of these programs? Well, you know what? I've told my wife, I said, we're living it out here. We are living it out right now. We see the stands emptying out, before the game's over, not because we're ahead by 40 or 50 points, but because we're getting beat. And it's, I don't know, Steve, Jake, I tell you, I would like to think that things are going to change. But right now, like Bill Parcells always said, you are what your record is. And that's the bottom line. So, guys, I don't know. We'll see how these last three games go, and we'll be kicking this stuff around for another year, I'm sure. But Steve, Jake, great show and good topic.
All right, thank you. Now, as far as the defense goes, Jake, real fast before we get to Derek, scoring defense, Nebraska is a top 30 scoring defense, 27th. They're only allowing 20.3 points per game. Total defense, they're 44th. Nebraska. Okay. By the way, Nebraska's ranked higher in total defense than Ohio State. Ohio State's 49. One of the most confusing stats out there is Nebraska's offense is 16th nationally in total offense, 16th, but they're only 53rd nationally in scoring offense. Inefficient.
Red zone problem. They've been better in the red zone than they have in previous years this year. It's all very strange. That's what the people say. Yeah, see, they're close.
I know. You can sell that legitimately, and you are what you're. Okay, people keep texting me and saying you are what your record says you are. So you say that in 2017 or 2000 was it? When did Nebraska break out 7-0 under Riley?
That was 2016.
Would you say that team was what the record says it was?
No.
No, it's not. It's not always the case. It's not always the case. I hate that cliche. It's not. It's a fault. I like some cliches because they're true. That one's not.
Let's get a quick call before we get to break from Derrick in a car. Derrick, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Gentlemen, great topics always. One thing here before I ask my big question, and you need another fan experience or listener experience would be take me back Thursday, where you guys go back 3 or 4 months and you replay what your predictions were for total defense, for total wins. Jake, I know you got pulled along by Sipple. He's a great salesman. He had you up to 8 wins. But take me back Thursday, guys. Hey, here's the situation as far as the coach goes. Trev Alberts has his work cut out for him. No question about it. If you wait and you give him another year, and let's say they peel off 5 wins next year, I mean, don't you really need to set the bar at a minimum of 8 in order to make this thing go? Because, if you go out and get Dave Aranda next week, you give him an opportunity to bring his players in. You give him an opportunity, the cupboards aren't bare. My concern is the recruiting cycles over the last 3 seasons. Those rankings are not going to be very high. They're going to be post 30th and beyond. And so you're kind of putting the next coach in a real difficult position if you give them another year and you bring this whole thing back, and then boom, we only end up with 4 more wins. Who's going to want to take the job, I guess, is my question.
Okay. Thanks for the call, Derek. Appreciate that. There's not a lot of easy questions or easy answers to these questions right now. But I do believe that there is a coach out there that would take this job.
I do too.
That's actually worthwhile for the job.
I absolutely believe
I've
that.
never believed it's Scott Frost or we're screwed forever.
No.
We'll talk about it later in the show,
No.
but that's a horrible thought.
No.
It's a stupid thought.
We are in a fix, though, and it doesn't feel like there's any easy fix. And it feels a little scary, right? I mean, how far is this going down the road?
We'll talk,
how many years is this going to – how are we going to be talking like
We'll talk to Cass next in early break in the ticket.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise. Hi, folks. Greg Sharp here, the voice of the Huskers. When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise when the bill comes. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant, air conditioning, heating, electrical, and plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Some patchy fog will be possible this morning, but overall cloudy and a bit cool here for our Tuesday. We'll top out near 46 with a light south wind at 5. Areas of fog possible again tonight with a low down to around 29. And not much of an improvement tomorrow. Partly cloudy with a high of around 47. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
The workday is long, the bills are due, and sometimes you just need to relax. There's no better way to do that than in your brand new hot spring spa from Bonsall Pool & Spa. With hot tubs as low as $75 per month and interest-free financing, you're sure to find the perfect spa to fit your lifestyle. So get over to Bonsall Pool & Spa today and check out their selection of hot spring spas. Bonsall Pool & Spa, 33rd and Highway 2. Every day made better.
The weather has changed, and now it's time to adjust your footwear to change along with it. Stop into Brown's Shoe Fit at 66th and Q to get ready for cooler temperatures and fashion trends. They're stocked with Hey Dudes, Brooks, New Balance, Danner boots, Keen or Merrill hiking boots, and plenty of other options. Plus, they have Nordic beach jackets and bindle tumblers to take to the gym with your new athletic shoes. So get to Brown's Shoe Fit today at 66th and Q.
All the fall favorites are back at Bagels & Joe. Try their caramel apple cream cheese on any of their bagels, or pick up some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins or pumpkin spice lattes for the office. And don't forget their delicious breakfast sandwiches and burritos. Bagels & Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
Beatrice Bakery has been serving Nebraska with one-of-a-kind Grandma's Fruitcake since 1964. You already know that, but did you know they offer way more than that? You've got to try their line of liqueur cakes, like the strawberry daiquiri cake or the vanilla rum cake. Or what about their breakfast breads, the banana nut bread, or their various streusel coffee cakes? Whatever the occasion, Beatrice Bakery has something for you. Oh yeah, and Grandma's Fruitcake? It's still pretty darn good. Beatrice Bakery, located in downtown Beatrice, or always online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Man, we sure could use an easy win this season.
I hear ya. That's why I suggested to the wife that we go to Magical Lights of Seward, the area's largest and most entertaining drive-through Christmas light show.
So, by suggesting going to Magical Lights of Seward, you got a win?
Yeah, my wife said it was the best idea I'd had in a long time. The kids loved the dazzling light show, synced with traditional and modern Christmas music, and we had an affordable, fun family experience.
Get your win, too, by pre-ordering your tickets today at magicallightsofseward.com/ticket.
Well, good morning, little brother.
Is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Dana Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're a little late to get into Kaz because people are fired up, and we like your calls at 402-464-5685. Call or text the show as always. But we are now joined by Rick Kaczynski, former Nebraska defensive line coach. Kaz, 2 straight losses for Nebraska. Actually, 3 straight losses with the Michigan game, but you thought they would come back and beat Minnesota and Purdue. They lose both games. They sit at 3-6 now this season, dead last in the Big Ten West with 3 tough games upcoming this month. I mean, we have such a divided fan base right now on Scott Frost, whether he should be here next year or not. Are you surprised with the record where it's at, Kaz, that there's such a divide in the fan base?
Other than that, Jake and Sip, how was the play? Mrs. Lincoln, holy cow.
Yeah.
Got me depressed, Jake.
It's a depressing time right now,
man,
Kaz. Are 3-6.
I tell you, I was thinking about this, and I'm gonna be like you guys, talking a little bit out of both sides of my mouth today.
Kaz.
Here's what I hate for Nebraska, and this is, and I heard Chris talking about the 21st century. Hey, Chris, there's some 10-win seasons in there. There's some bowl wins.
That's right.
Frank, I think, coached in the 21st century. I think that's a little bit of the entitlement problem, that you just roll a ball out and because you're Nebraska, you win football games, guys. The landscape's changed. Nobody wants it. It is what it is. All right. Things have changed. They're always changing. It's always evolving. Nebraska's still a blue blood. Absolutely. But things have changed. But when I was with Nebraska in this coaching talk, and let's be honest, if we're not talking about coaching changes right now or during the season at school X, right? What are you saying right now? Good luck recruiting. Guys, you're done. You can't recruit this year. You can't recruit. I've been on a staff. What we were able to do after 2013 and get some of the commits we had in 2014, guys, we were done. We knew we were done with that clown. All right. When you have to start talking about job security, you're done as a staff. All right, Terry Joseph left because of that. He didn't want to leave Nebraska. He went to A&M. He was trying to get me on there. I got it. And I had, Hudson was a GA at Notre Dame when I was a player. He offered me a job at Purdue. Me and Bo talked about it. He's like, listen, dude, you're going to be looking for a job there in a year. Might as well stay here. Guys were looking to get out because you knew you were done. And that's a problem, man. Right. But I also understand it's a results-based business too. So that's where, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth here.
Not really.
You can't. It's just.
That's wicked,
man. It's a tough spot, but Nebraska guys, you guys cannibalize these staffs in the program. I'm just telling you. I mean, for 2 years ago, you guys were talking about job security. Every coach that comes in there, and then every coach that recruits against Nebraska, you ain't gonna be playing for that guy. They fire guys who win 10 games.
Yeah.
I mean that's
trouble.
That's what people say. And then you want to talk about candidates. I mean, somebody called Dave Aranda. Are you kidding me?
No.
You think you guys could get Dave Aranda?
Why not, Cass?
All due respect.
Why not?
Holy cow.
Come on.
That's what I'm talking about, this entitlement, guys. It's hard. College football's hard. Winning's hard. Easy, Sip. Easy there, Lee Harvey. Relax.
You can't. Now, hold on. You're talking about big contract now. I mean, won't guys jump at that, Kaz? Big contract.
Who? Okay, from who?
A
Tell
Dave,
me who?
a Dave
Big
Aranda.
Contract? You don't think Dave Aranda can't get a big contract? He's up for the LSU job.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
But not everybody
guys,
can get the LSU
look
job.
outside the borders of the state of Nebraska for once in your lifetime, Sip.
Yeah.
Just like I told you in 2012 about facilities, right? Get outside. Take a look.
Yeah,
Big
you're right
country,
about that.
man.
Yeah, you were right about
Places.
that. Yeah, you were right about the
come
facility.
on, guys. I mean, and you guys know I love Nebraska. You guys know how I feel about that place. But gosh, dang, man, it's hard, man. It's hard. And when you got to talk about job security all the time, there is not another program in the country that talks about a head coach's job security more than Nebraska, guys. It is detrimental to recruiting. And Nebraska, whether it's the portal, JCs, all that, Nebraska is a developmental program. Everybody's a developmental program. But Nebraska, you can't swing for the fence all the time, guy. It just doesn't happen. Alabama swings for the fence and they get it, right? That's what happens. And not a whole lot of programs do.
Okay,
so you got to develop. It's hard to develop. You're going to go out and recruit right now? I'm Chins. I'm going into a high school in Iowa, recruiting against Wisconsin and Iowa. Yeah. What do you think Wisconsin and Iowa are saying right now? I mean, come on, man. It's just you guys make it tough, man. You make it tough.
I hear you.
I promise you.
All right, Rick Kaczynski joins us, former Nebraska defensive line coach. Now, Kaz, after I keep saying this to Jake, and I want to ask you your thought on this. After October 9th, the theme on this show, and including from yourself, was it looks like they are going in a pretty good direction. How much has your mind changed since Michigan in the wake of losses to Purdue and Minnesota?
Okay, so here's where I'm going to talk a little bit outside of the other side of my mouth.
Okay.
Right? Just to prepare for the show a little bit, I'll watch a little bit on Monday, and then I listen to you guys on Monday. I listen to you guys before I come on, and here's where I don't like, and here's as a player and as a former coach, what I see. At some point, guys, the players got to play. Okay. Obviously, the game plans were good enough against Michigan State and Michigan to win those football games. Okay. And it's a tough game, and I know they're young kids and it's college play, but at some point somebody's got to make a play. Like I know you guys talk about the deep. Who's making a play?
Right.
Who's making a play, guys? Who's making a spark? Right. And then I hear the interviews, and I look at Coach Saban, and you ever hear his guys speak? They give credit to other guys. They don't talk about the opponent. They talk about themselves and what they need to improve. And then I hear, you're 10th in defense, scoring defense in the Big Ten through conference games. And you're sitting there saying, we can play with anybody and all that. You just don't need that stuff. You know what you need to do? You need to go play. That's what you need to do. You need to go get some sacks. You need to go make some tackles for loss, right? And you need to uplift. You got to make the guys around you better. Right. What I don't see on Nebraska right now is who's making plays right now for Nebraska? Who's stepping up saying, hey, enough's enough, man? And this is the coach in me saying, man, let's go, dude. I mean, come on, man. Somebody's got to make something happen. Somebody's got to step up. The coaches aren't out on the field.
Okay.
I mean, so I that's the frustration that I see watching and listening to some of the players. I mean, Devontae Smith? You ever hear that guy talk after games last year? The Alabama receiver? Just trying to improve. I'm just trying to improve. What if people double team you? Well, then we have great offensive linemen. We're going to run the ball. We have great running backs. God, I don't focus on that. I just focus on my job and doing it the best of my ability. That's how those guys talk. That's their mentality. So, and I know coaches create that mentality for the players, but man, guys, I mean, I'm looking at this, guys, the Nebraska players got to start playing.
I got you.
But Kaz, here's the thing with that. What indicates to you that that's going to happen the end of this year and next year? And also going back to what you said about the coaches, I mean, the Nebraska cannibalized coaches that were winning 9-10 games. Right now, the coach is 15-26. He's 3-6 this year. We're not talking about a guy that's 6-3 and had a bad loss. I mean, they're 3-6. They're bottom of the barrel in a weak division. That's why it's different from when you were on staff, because you guys were winning games more than you were losing. This team's losing more than they're winning.
Yeah, I get it. And I think after Bo, I think Nebraska probably could have got some better candidates at the time. You're taking over a 9-10 win program with a pretty good roster coming back, and things intact. You fire Scott Frost right now, Jake. All right, tell me how recruiting's going. You're going to go to the portal and take 20 guys and roll the dice, and hopefully it works out for you like it did Michigan State. I mean, who do you get? And that's what I'm saying. I mean, who do you get? What kind of staff do you get? What kind of recruiting class do you get? Because recruiting classes
this is wonderful.
are I mean, I'm not talking about ratings. I could care less about ratings. It's you got to get guys and develop, and you got to get guys that you can keep in the program. how you think the transfer portal will look if you guys fire Scott Frost? How many guys you think are going to leave Nebraska? So then you're building it you're right where what tells you once again that you're not going to be at the bottom of the barrel. So I mean, I just think in this day and age, with football and college football right now, I think Jake, you got to look at who you getting. Okay, who can you get? Can you get better than Coach Frost that can come in here and win more games and establish? You don't know that question. I don't know that question. I'm not there every day. You're not there every day. Trev probably has the best idea out of anybody that sits outside that staff room on the second floor. So, you know, I look at it right now, Jake. Who you getting? Because I all due respect, I mean, I like I said, you guys know how I feel about Nebraska. Hell, I wish I was still there.
Well,
but my thing is, guys, there's not anybody, quality coaches that want to go to a place that knows it's just a matter of time before you get fired.
Okay, now I got a question.
The program.
Critical question.
Everybody talks about you getting fired all the time.
All right, critical question. You've identified a lot of problems. What is the solution then?
My thing right now, stick with the staff, man. Stick with the staff. Come out, say, this is our coach, okay? This is our coach.
Okay.
Do what Gary Barta did when we had about 100 guys arrested in 2 years and we're 6-6. Kirk Ferentz, our coach. He's going to correct the problem. We're going to get this. Boom. He's our guy right there.
Okay.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
Here's the fix, guys. Now go out and recruit. Go out and recruit. All right, now go out and when you have to focus on results instead of the process, guys, results are a freaking distraction. All right, you have to focus on the things that get you the results, and that's Nebraska's problem. You're always focusing on results. Always focus on what gets you the results. And when you're talking about firing coaches and all that, you know, come out and say, "Hey, Scott Frost is our guy," or guess what? Scott Frost isn't our guy. Do what TCU did. You know why? Because they want the SMU coach before Texas Tech hired.
Right.
That's why Patterson.
Sonny Dykes. Right.
Make a decision. So you want a solution? Make a decision and go with it.
All right. Thank you.
And that's my decision.
All right.
Right now, you're kind of in limbo, man.
Right.
You know what's going on? You know. So the solution to me, I think it's step one. Make a decision. Is Scott Frost your coach or not?
All right, Kaz. Kaz, that was good. You had a solution. Now, not everybody's going to agree with you. You understand that.
Hey, Sip. Heck, if everybody agree, you know, you'd be out of work about 7 years ago. That's what's great about it.
Right,
man.
You're right.
I got no skin in the game. I mean, heck, but
you're right.
But no, you guys know.
Right.
I want the Big Ten. I want Nebraska. I want those places to do well. It's great for the conference. It's great. It's great for the places, guys. I mean, that stadium packed, Memorial Stadium pack is great for college football, man. You know, Nebraska winning is great for college football, man. Just quit firing guys, for crying out loud, or just say you're going to fire the guy and then move forward, man. It's just this hanging up and in limbo. It just kills the program. It's detrimental and hard to come back from, guys.
Thank you, Kaz. Always good
Great
stuff. Thanks for the time.
Great.
We will chat with you again next week.
Great stuff.
All right, guys.
Great
Take
stuff.
care, man.
Thank you. Now, Kaz put his flag in the ground. You heard him. He put his flag in the ground.
I'm a little surprised.
He says you.
I'm a little surprised.
He said you ride with this staff, but you have to come out and say it, Trev Alberts, because recruiting is suffering.
I don't know if you can ride with a couple guys on the staff.
Well, that's a whole different conversation, Jake. That's a whole different conversation. That's not what he was saying.
I know.
That's not what he was talking about.
I understand.
Right.
I just
you move the goalposts.
I move goalposts. That's what I do. I'm a goalpost mover. Song of the day next to early break in the ticket.
The workday is long, the bills are due, and sometimes you just need to relax. There's no better way to do that than in your brand new hot spring spa from Bonzall Pool & Spa. With hot tubs as low as $75 per month and interest-free financing, you're sure to find the perfect spa to fit your lifestyle. So get over to Bonzall Pool & Spa today and check out their selection of hot spring spas. Bonzall Pool & Spa, 33rd and Highway 2. Every day made better.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise. Hi, folks. Greg Sharp here, the voice of the Huskers. When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise when the bill comes. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant, air conditioning, heating, electrical, and plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Join DP and Jay Foreman on Wednesday at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. DP goes 1-on-1 with Husker Online Sean Callahan at 3, and Jay joins from 4 to 6 p.m. to preview the Ohio State game and more. That's all this Wednesday at Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill.
Man, we sure could use an easy win this season.
I hear you. That's why I suggested to the wife that we go to Magical Lights of Seward, the area's largest and most entertaining drive-through Christmas light show.
So, by suggesting going to Magical Lights of Seward, you got a win?
Yeah, my wife said it was the best idea I'd had in a long time. The kids loved the dazzling light show, synced with traditional and modern Christmas music, and we had an affordable, fun family experience.
Get your win, too, by pre-ordering your tickets today at magicallightsofseward.com/ticket.
Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is now hiring for all shifts. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. There's potential to earn up to $25.25 per hour with opportunities for overtime. They also offer a retention bonus as new team members are eligible for a bonus as high as $1,000. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Hi, Andy Neal of Cartridge World. We are not a big box store that sells everything and specializes in nothing. Cartridge World is your local expert when it comes to streamlining office printing and scanning. No big box can match our proven no-cost lease program. We customize solutions that supply you with multifunction printers and all the required service just for buying Cartridge World ink and toner at a 30% savings. Call for a no-cost consultation, 464-3455, or go online to cartridgeworld.com.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're a big tough? If you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
he stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'll drive you home at the end of the night. Damn nice as a drama queen, but I found myself in the front seat of her car. She's got blood royalty, but that's fine. Yeah, that's alright with me. Baby, I'm freaking out. Light me lay me down and love me like you should've known. You can crash my car tonight. Go out, wasting all my time.
Song of the day, Crash My Car by Coin. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day. Once again, your Song of the Day, Crash My Car by Coin. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
Okay, I'm 55, right?
Yeah.
I'm too old for that song. But, but more significantly, you're too old for that song.
I saw you go, during that song. Yeah, positive.
All right. No, that's, again, I'm 55.
It's indie music.
I'm 55. I'm way too old for that song. You're 30. You're way too old for that song. Yeah, you are. You've aged out of that.
I have not aged out of it.
You have. You've aged out of that one. Jake, I'm just saying.
I bet you Harrison gives it a high
Harrison
score.
is not.
That's indie music.
Yeah.
He's got to like that one.
I don't know what indie music is. That's what indie music is?
That's indie. Coin is
that
an
indie music?
Coin is an indie band.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Jake. So you gotta give a score here. You had an interested look when the verses came up.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the appeal of that song, but it's not appealing to me. I can understand why Harrison would like that song. It's just very mediocre music. I'll give it a 5.0. 5.0.
Harris, this I'm going to go ahead and guess this might be Harrison's highest score yet. I think that song screams Harrison to me.
Does it?
Yeah. I like that song. I think it's a great song. I would give that myself a 9. I don't get to rate my own song.
I don't believe it.
There's a lot of songs I give myself like
I can't believe what I'm hearing. That song's not a 9.
I like that song.
Jake, 9's like Sgt. Pepper,
Lonely Heart.
Come on. Maggie May by
that is not okay. That song is better than Maggie May.
Oh,
I don't like Maggie May. Not into that. Okay, Harrison's score. I think he's in the 7s here. This is gonna be his highest score. I'm going 7.3 for Harrison. Am I too high or the right spectrum?
Well, you think Harrison liked it that
I do.
much?
I really do.
I'm gonna say a little lower, 6.0.
Ooh, 6.4. This is very timely for Nebraska. You can crash my car.
Very time. Okay, gave it a 6.4. Yeah, he did like
Speaking of crashing a car, there's no car crash
You're not
involved
reading the
here.
text line?
No, I don't have time.
Okay.
We're way behind.
Sorry.
Were you sad to hear your friend, your big horse friend, Derrick Henry, looks like he's out for the season with a foot injury?
Here's the question I'd ask you and Harrison. Is there a player, a non-quarterback, more important to his team than Derrick Henry? A non-quarterback.
I'm pausing, thinking about this.
You know this because you're an NFL guy.
I'm going to say the answer is no.
Right.
But I think they have a good offensive line is what helps. They have
come on.
They're signing Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
But no, I mean
3 yards in a cloud of dust with Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, I'm going to say I think it's pretty clear that nobody is as important as Derrick
So it's
Henry.
gigantic
as a non-quarterback.
Gigantic injury. Yeah, it looks like they are going to sign Adrian Peterson off the street.
He's not signing anywhere.
My sources on Sirius say that he's in good shape. But doesn't that look like 3 yards in a cloud of dust to you?
It just depends how good the offensive line is. As much as I think it's a decent offensive line, but Derrick Henry is the most important player to a team that's not a quarterback.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, and he
probably
gets
so many carries.
And he's probably more important than some quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, for sure. He gets so many carries in that offense every game, getting 25, 30 carries a game or more at times.
Yeah, it's a big injury.
Your big horse friend is gone.
Yeah, he's in the stable. He's in the stable. Somebody get him some feed.
He's taking some time off.
Get him some water. Make sure that water bucket's full all the time. He's kicking the stall.
Maybe that should be you. It's your boy. It's your guy.
All right, let's spin out of that.
Top of the hour next on Early Break in the Ticket.
All the fall favorites are back at Bagels & Joe. Try their caramel apple cream cheese on any of their bagels, or pick up some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins or pumpkin spice lattes for the office. And don't forget their delicious breakfast sandwiches and burritos. Bagels & Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
From Mexican tree pheasants to smoked pigeon street tacos and tagging tiger and blacktip sharks, plus chasing big and dangerous game. This week on The Revolution with Jim and Trav, it's all about the DIY outdoorsman. Joining the boys is Master Chef and outdoorsman Scott Lasath from Dead Meat and the intrepid Dave Folson with Trigicon's World of Sports Afield. The Revolution is presented by Outdoor Channel, Sportsman Channel, World Fishing Network, and My Outdoor TV. Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Lincoln's ticket to sports.
The workday is long, the bills are due, and sometimes you just need to relax. There's no better way to do that than in your brand new hot spring spa from Bonzal Pool & Spa. With hot tubs as low as $75 per month and interest-free financing, you're sure to find the perfect spa to fit your lifestyle. So get over to Bonzal Pool & Spa today and check out their selection of hot spring spas. Bonzal Pool & Spa, 33rd and Highway 2. Every day made better.
Beatrice Bakery has been serving Nebraska with one-of-a-kind grandma's fruitcake since 1964. You already know that, but did you know they offer way more than that? You've got to try their line of liqueur cakes, like the strawberry daiquiri cake or the vanilla rum cake. Or what about their breakfast breads, the banana nut bread, or their various streusel coffee cakes? Whatever the occasion, Beatrice Bakery has something for you. Oh yeah, and grandma's fruitcake? It's still pretty darn good. Beatrice Bakery, located in downtown Beatrice, or always online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
My name is Rebecca. I struggled with depression for years. I also smoked. That was my world. Finally, I realized that smoking wasn't helping me. It was making my life worse. So I took control and I quit. Now I'm able to run again and take walks with my grandkids. My tip is there's another world out there, and it's a beautiful place to be.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course. Oh, God. Ow.
Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Tuesday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, early break. Fun show so far. You got the podcast at theticketfm.com. Very good insight from Rick Kaczynski, as always, today.
Particularly in the recruiting piece, and your eyebrows really raised when he talked about how that staff felt like they were dead in the water in 2013. When Nebraska changed ADs. I don't think people understand that because I in fact I was in sort of a exchange with another media member yesterday who was basically being an apologist for the Riley 2017 season. A lot of the media in this market will say, well, it's because that team quit. They had good reason to quit because of what happened early in the season. They fired the AD and everybody knew the staff was in trouble. And what I say is, that's interesting. It's always interesting to me when people start giving you reasons for quitting. That's healthy. I mean, making excuses.
Well, this is why they quit. Yeah.
Excuses for quitting. Okay. Then what I said to him is, you don't seem to cut that sort of slack for the Pelini staff who underwent essentially the same thing, just not as overt. But it happened. They got a new AD, and they knew when that AD came in and they knew the way that all went down, they were done. Same thing. But the difference was their team didn't quit. They didn't quit. They kept recruiting somehow and somehow got to back-to-back bowl games with 9 wins. Somehow, pushed USC to the limit in California. And what was the 2013 bowl? Help me, Jake, after the 2013 season. Was that Georgia?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, when they beat
Florida.
Georgia.
Yeah. The Gator Bowl?
Yeah, they beat Georgia.
The 99-yard pass to Quincy Newton from Tommy? Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So they were getting to bowl games, winning bowl games, or losing 45-42 to USC in a bowl game.
Competitive against good schools.
Yeah. So they didn't quit.
Right.
So that's So the reason I bring that up at all is because of what Kaz said. They knew they were in trouble, and it really affected recruiting. So Kaz's contention was, you got to make a decision here, because right now recruiting it's hard to recruit right now for Nebraska. It is. It's really hard.
You
think about it.
Well, yeah, you got a staff that you don't know what their future is. The program is struggling right now. There's several reasons why you can't recruit very well. And that's why it's hard. It gets harder for me to convince myself that you need to keep the staff.
Right.
Because if things are going to go into next year, if you're going to have this divisive fan base where it's like, okay, this is the year. Okay, you got another year. What's the expectation now? And how do you still recruit to that if you don't know you have a long-term future here?
So people are listening to this show. Your opinion swung fast and hard after these last 2 games. My opinion shifted, not okay. You swung fast and hard towards you have to move on from this staff, right? You did. You characterize it
because I expected a lot better in the 2 games that followed Michigan.
Right,
those were games you had to win.
So you went from saying this staff needs to stay, and in a 2-game span, you decide this staff needs to go.
Well, I was on the fence before the Michigan game as well. I've been on the fence for a long time.
I'm not putting you on the defense. I'm just asking. I just wanted to clarify your position.
Yeah.
Okay, you were on the fence. These last 2 games swung you to the side of the aisle where you say it's time to move on.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair. Totally fair.
I don't think that's irrational.
No, I don't.
You have a 15 and 26 staff.
I'm not putting you on the defense. I just wanted to clarify your position. My position's less appealing than yours. Because I don't know. I wishy-washy.
You're going back and forth, aren't you?
Yeah, wishy-washy. Wishy-washy. Wonder what that's all about.
I know what it's about. I know exactly what it's all about.
Wishy-washy. I'm a little wishy-washy and torn. Here's what I'm wrestling with. The fairness part. I'm wrestling with the fairness part.
I'm sorry, look at Harrison over there. He's going through hell over there.
What's going on?
I know what's happening over there.
What's happening?
I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
But I know he's going through hell over there.
Oh, great. Anyway, I think there's I have to weigh the fairness element of it. Would it be fair to pull the rug out right now? That's what we got to determine.
Fair to who? Fair to the staff?
Yeah, fair to the staff. You're going to go 15-27 and say it's all about the record. And it's not. Anybody can. You don't have to, as Jerry DiNardo said last week, you don't have to go to AD school and look at a record and determine whether you're going to fire a guy. It's got to be more. It's more than that. It's got to be about what they inherited. Do you see progress? What's the roster look? There's myriad questions that have to be addressed other than what's the record, right? There's no real reason to even go to AD school if that's all it is, right? So right. You got to come to me with more than SIP. They're 15-27 under Frost.
15-26.
Okay,
whatever. One extra loss for some reason. You're already counting Ohio State as a loss, apparently.
Pretty much, yes.
Oh, okay. Let's get a phone call. Then I got a question for you guys before that. Oh, after that, Greg and Milford, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Hey, how you guys doing this morning?
Good, Greg.
I'd say good. How are you doing?
Good. I think Frost's chapter will write itself if he pulls a Pelini and is too stubborn to change anything in his philosophy. When I mean anything, I mean coaches, players. If we go out and Martinez has a heck of a game and then all of a sudden makes a bonehead freshman play again, I mean, sooner or later, is he going to try something different? If he doesn't, he's going to write his own chapter. And I hate to say it, Nebraska will pay him $20 million over the next however many years.
I got you. Okay, so thanks, Greg. Thanks, Greg. So what's happened? What's happened here? Thank you, Greg. Is that the conversation, Jake? The conversation about Frost changing his staff, making staff moves, has become secondary to whether he's going to get a chance to make his staff moves, right? We're not really hearing that conversation right now because the last two games, it shifted to will he even have an opportunity to make staff moves, right? I think it's a foregone conclusion that if he stays, you can't bring the same.
There's no way.
You can't bring the same staff back intact. Right? Isn't that just a foregone conclusion? I mean, just if no other reason than appearances. I mean, even if Scott says, no, this is the staff that I think can get it done, I'm not sure he has a choice in this, because I think if it would be such a kind of what you call a public relations disaster if he just dug in and said, I'm not making any changes.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. For it's obvious to us that this program is not horrible right now, but they can be a lot better if some things are changed or addressed.
But you're just talking about offense, right? Because you can't. It's not a special teams discussion now. Really,
they're not excelling. They're doing fine. They're acceptable.
But you can't fire their special teams coach. They're not that. That would be weird
because that guy also has a different job,
right?
At Nebraska,
right?
It's not his one job.
No, I know. Outside linebacker. We're talking about Mike Dawson, who also coaches outside linebackers. I get that. But all I'm getting at, Jake, is aren't you just talking at this point about an offensive staff?
It feels that way.
Yeah.
I'd still like to get I think the defense, you keep everybody intact who wants to stay.
Well,
those
that's
guys
the other thing.
As Kaz said, those guys might be looking for other jobs because they don't know the security of this program going forward.
See, this is you know what's valuable, I think, about this having talk shows? There's some things that are valuable. And one thing that's valuable, listening to Kaz, Rick Kaczynski, listening to you, the nature of our conversations, is I hope it drives home to people what a massive fix Nebraska's in. I mean, think about it. Think about the fix that we're in and the enormous complexity of what it's going to take to get this back. It's getting harder and harder all the time as we talk. Now, you could say, no, it's not that hard. It just takes the right hire.
It does.
Okay.
It does. Mel Tucker got to turn around right away at Michigan State.
But how many, I mean, that's way easier said than done.
Matt Campbell turned around pretty quickly at Iowa State in a terrible program.
Right.
Terrible.
But it's way easier said than done.
I understand that.
And I know, and I know where you're coming from. We are like-minded that you can't have this mentality of, well, we can't fire the current guy because who are you going to get? No, you can't. You can't let that hold you back. Yeah.
For anybody out there that believes that, I mean, come on.
I totally agree with you.
That is such BS.
Mm-hmm. It's defeatist.
For the people that have said that if Scott Frost can't do it, no one can. That is such
garbage.
Crap and garbage. And I hope that's never uttered in my wherewithal ever again. I don't want to hear that. Because that's crap. That's garbage.
Jake, who are you going to get?
I tell you what, you can find plenty of people that can get this to at least a 500 program.
I'm with you. I'm not of that mind. It's a terribly defeatist attitude.
I mean, Brett Bielema in year one is going to finish ahead of this program at a horrible school. Mm-hmm. Illinois is terrible. Mm-hmm. And they have, 2 or 3 Big Ten wins? Right. 2? They should have 3. They should have beat Rutgers. They should have 3, but they have 2. They're ahead of you. They beat you. They are ahead of you in your own division with a first-year head coach.
They went to Happy Valley and won.
They beat Penn State in 9 overtimes in Happy Valley, and they should have beat Rutgers last weekend to be a third conference win. Like, what are you waiting for here? Like, what is this unicorn with Scott Frost figuring it out next year and going 11-1 or 10-2 that you're waiting for? I just don't know that what you see in the field is going to actually progress into a very consistently winning program.
You are all in on moving on.
Something would have to drastically change in November with these 3 games against Ohio State, Wisconsin, Iowa. He can save his job this month.
All right, now we're getting somewhere. That's interesting.
I just think it's highly unlikely. I mean, what's your likeliness you give him of beating any of these 3 teams?
Now I respect where you're coming from completely, but we have to talk that out. Jake, the reason some people are gonna take issue with your position is you're putting it all on the second half of the season. Now I get it, second half
of a critical season,
but you're judging a staff on what? Now are we saying 5 games now?
I'm judging off the whole tenure, but this 5 games is obviously hurtful for them. The whole tenure has been bad,
right,
for Nebraska.
Right.
Like, I'm not trying. Nebraska didn't have a season. They went 9-3. They have gone 4-8, 5-7, 3-5, and they're heading towards 4-8, 3-9 right now.
I get it. I understand. I just think you have to talk it out. And some people are going to look at it in a much more macro way, right? They're not going to just say, okay, after you were riding the fence, and then after 2 games you're off the fence and you're ready to move on. Now, some people are going to say that's irrational.
These games, these last 2 you play, I know Minnesota it might win the West, but they were viewed as a team. These last 2 games were viewed as games before the season that you should win, right?
Yeah.
We went to the schedule.
Absolutely.
I mean, I guess I take it back. Minnesota, we thought was going to be all right. But as they lose to Bowling Green, you say, okay, beat Minnesota.
Well, and now you'd say Minnesota's better than you thought they were. Would be.
I'll take it back. You and I were both scared of that game before the season. I take that back.
Thank you.
I take that back. But before the season, we also thought Michigan was going to be a win for Nebraska and Lincoln. We thought that was going to be a team that last year was not good. We thought they'd be okay to bad again. We were wrong about them. We thought Michigan State was going to be tough, but probably a win for Nebraska. We thought for sure Purdue was going to be a win. Following a bye week, absolutely, you're going to beat Purdue.
I mean, we have to be careful what we say because we were – there's a little revisionist history in your discussion about Minnesota. We both said that would be. I mean, what I'm saying is, can you really take Nebraska to task for losing to Minnesota when we both thought that was a very good possibility? Just happened what we thought would happen. Right?
But I think when we were scared of Minnesota, we were scared of Mo Ibrahim. He's been out since week
fair.
1, and then their backup was out.
Yeah, now they're down to number 4.
Right. I mean, so things change. That's
still winning.
Ibrahim's a game changer. That's one of the best backs in the country, not just the conference, the country.
Yeah, I hear you.
And when he's out, all of a sudden that game becomes a lot less scary. Mm-hmm. Scary still, but a lot less. Mm-hmm. From the text line.
What are you hearing?
Someone says, I can't listen anymore. Jake is too emotional. Listen.
I don't think you're being
How many times
emotional.
can I say that Scott Frost is 15-26 as the head coach of the program? I know everybody knows that number. when Mike Riley was fired, he was 19-19. I understand that he brought what was doing well. I mean, Bo's staff was doing fine at the end of his tenure.
He took over a lot different
He took over a lot different situation, and he made it bad, but he still was 500. Scott Frost hasn't touched 500.
Right.
I mean, 2019, I guess if you beat Iowa that year, you're in 6-6.
What that I'm telling you, I know what that texter has in mind, and it's that you swung, maybe that your opinion swung too fast and
they
too
swung
hard
for me.
Well,
the team swung it for me. They did it themselves.
But what the issue is should 2 games determine a staff's fate?
It's not 2 games,
right? But yes, it was in your the way your narrative swung fast. You got to admit that, because you were all in after Michigan.
I wouldn't say it was all in.
You said you were on the fence. I don't believe that.
I said they're trending the right direction. I said that
yes.
I said it's a good
So
team.
they were trending the right direction, and 2 games later
they blasted it all apart.
Okay, all right. I just wanted.
Yes, they
see.
blasted
That's where
it.
we're a little.
They
okay.
took this progress, stuck dynamite in it, and blew it up themselves.
They lost 2 close games. They didn't get blown
close
out
at the end. They're down by 14 over Minnesota. They scored a late touchdown there. It was closer than it actually
that's
was.
true.
And Purdue, they're down by 11.
Same thing.
They scored a touchdown with 1:30 to go.
That's
See, this
fair.
one score stuff is not always real,
So
though.
just so people understand, on this show, where we have a little bit of disagreement, is I don't know if my whole mindset shifts after 2 wins against, after 2 losses against good Big Ten teams. Minnesota is at the top of their division. You played them on their home field. Minnesota's at the top of the West alone right now,
Which I think is a very average division.
Okay, that's fair.
It's not a good division.
That's fair.
That add this to this conversation. It's an average division.
Purdue, I thought, was equal talent-wise as Nebraska. You lost, bad loss. I'm not apologizing. I'm not being an apologist for this staff. I'm not. The only thing that we differ on is I have not swung as hard and as fast as you. I wrote the column on Sunday. I wrote the column that this could be right now what's happening could be Frost's team essentially writing the story to the end of his tenure. That's what could be happening right now. I believe that. Now, we haven't heard from Trev. We don't know exactly what's going on. Kaz's big thing is they need to say something. So recruiting, to take care of recruiting. If they're going to bring them back, if they're going to bring this staff back, if Trev's going to bring the staff back, say it, because recruiting's suffering. What are you hearing?
Again,
get to John.
as you could, I'll get to John, but
you see where we're at?
As you can expect, every other text is differing right now. It's on one side of the spectrum or the other about Frost.
And
keep
here we
him,
are.
and it's just not going to change. That's
And
why
here we are.
This month is just going to be painful because it's going to be the same story every day about reasons to keep him, reasons to fire him.
Right. That's where we are. We've done this before.
Nebraska
right?
is in a big fix once again.
Yeah. And well,
but
now, hold on. Now stop. Do you think the fan base is divided almost 50-50?
It feels like it. And I wonder how the divide goes if they lose the next 3
let's
games.
go back to these coaches. Riley, it wasn't divided.
No, people were out on him. It was time to go.
Pelini, not really divided. Kind of.
People understood.
Yeah, I think people understood. Callahan, not divided. Frank, very divided.
Very divided.
And this feels much like that.
However, Frank
situation.
had a 58-19 record.
Yeah, the Vegas Bobcats saying don't compare this situation to Solich. I'm not comparing it. Well, don't say it all, because it is in one sense. Fan base is divided.
Yeah, that's it. That's the
the
only comparison.
That's all I'm saying.
For a coach that was 58-19 versus a coach that's 15-26.
Right. Yeah.
Like the thing is, I want to.
But this is uncomfortable. When the fan base is divided, it's uncomfortable. Go ahead.
But just let it be known, fans out there, listeners, it is not if Scott Frost can't fix this, no one can. So I'll make sure it's very clear. If there's nothing else learned today or everything that's taken away, it is not Scott Frost or bust for Nebraska's football program going forward. Somebody can win here.
We agree 100% on that.
That narrative needs to die, and it needs to die now.
I'm with you on that. There's a lot of good coaches out there.
Absolutely.
Got to find the right one, and that can happen.
Let's get a call from John. John, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Hey, Sip, I normally don't agree with anything your co-host says, but he is spot on this one.
Thank you.
That pains me this morning, but I just want you to stop saying, well, you were on board after the Michigan game. That's 3 or 4 weeks ago. We all want Nebraska to do well.
Okay.
Even to the point where we'll lose a game and we will still brag them up and say, almost there.
Right.
But there comes a point where you have to answer the tough questions. Like I listened to your guys' conference with Coach Frost yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It has got to kill you. I know it's your job, and I don't hold it against you, but it's got to kill you. Just ask a simple question. Hey, Coach Frost, how many interceptions before you do pull your quarterback?
Right. That's not a bad question. That's not a bad question.
I listened to you guys yesterday, and you beat around the bush with Coach Frost. And I don't know if you have to do that or if you choose to, but there are just some – how do you sit in your conference and say Logan Smothers is doing really well, doing all this? But, yeah, we're not even thinking about him. He's not even an afterthought. Well, how many interceptions does it take?
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, I'm listening to – I think it's Jake. I just call him your co-host that annoys me. But,
all right. Fine, John.
I think it's Jake. He's spot on today. Spot on. Great job, Jake. So,
all right.
Anyway, guys,
thank you, John. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. I guess, kind of.
No, that was a compliment. Yeah. Are we too – I mean, Jake, you listen to the press conferences. Is the media corps too soft with Scott? I don't – now, what John suggested as a question's legit and not unfair. Now, sometimes people will come at you with, you should have asked this, and it's just a completely unfair question. It's not even really a question. It's just a statement, but that one's legit. That one's legit. What else did you think about what John said?
I mean,
no, I want to ask you that question. Hold on.
Okay.
Are we too soft with Scott, the media corps in general?
Harrison says yes over there.
Are we?
Nods his head.
Harrison? Kind of. He says kind of. What do you think? You can criticize me. It's fine.
I just don't know.
I'm not above criticism.
Well, what questions should people think that you should ask?
Right.
I don't walk away. I think that the media has been getting more critical. They're asking more critical questions of Scott because you have to.
Right. I try to get to some matters by I asked him yesterday, how close do you think you are to getting this team to max out? Now that's a question that could get you somewhere. It didn't in this case, but I don't know. I mean, John's question is a good one though. That could have been asked. How many usually a quarterback doesn't get a chance to throw 4 picks, right?
And it should have been 5.
Yeah.
The first one was dropped.
All right. But Scott did. Now, John, to be fair, he was asked, I don't know what the exact question was, but he was asked about, I know what the question was. Did he consider polling? He was asked Saturday, John, after the game, if he considered polling Adrian. And he answered the question. He said, it crossed my mind. I'm paraphrasing. It crossed my mind, but I didn't have any discussions with anybody else about it. That's what his answer was.
We're all friends right now. Everybody is just really attacking everybody around here. Yeah. I mean,
are we being attacked?
People are just pissed. They don't know what to think right now. They're on.
Are we being attacked on a text line?
The texters, they'll have minds of their own.
Sure.
And they're allowed to. That's why we have a text line for you guys to vent. And
we have 464-5685. You can call us too.
Yeah, call or text. But we got to talk to Robin Washit next about some Husker hoops on early break of the ticket.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. For sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
The weather has changed, and now it's time to adjust your footwear to change along with it. Stop into Brown's Shoe Fit at 66th and Q to get ready for cooler temperatures and fashion trends. They're stocked with Hey Dudes, Brooks, New Balance, Danner boots, Keen or Merrill hiking boots, and plenty of other options. Plus, they have Nordic beach jackets and bindle tumblers to take to the gym with your new athletic shoes. So get to Brown's Shoe Fit today at 66th and Q.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. This month's specials are Sam Adams, Exile Brewing from Iowa, and other fall seasons. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch Crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street. Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hard-working, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
At MD Pain, we know chronic pain is a problem. It can lead to isolation, depression, and the inability for you or a loved one to live the life you want. That doesn't need to happen. Chronic pain can be effectively managed. The doctors of MD Pain wrote the book on effective, ethical pain management. Get actual solutions with the most up-to-date, clinically proven treatment options available. No one has to suffer in silence. Get real treatment for chronic pain. Call MD Pain.
Parents, if you've been waiting for FDA approval to get your teen vaccinated, the time is now. The FDA has approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for use in preventing COVID-19. While this is the first vaccine to gain FDA approval, all COVID-19 vaccines have been proven to be effective against the coronavirus. Want to reduce your teen's risk of hospitalization while protecting yourself and your community? Get your teen vaccinated today. Visit vaccinate.ne.gov to get started.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion-censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course. Ow! God! Ow!
Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
This
Anybody who knows me knows I was cocky out of the womb.
is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We'll take a quick break from Nebraska football to talk about something that has some good hope for the season right now. Nebraska basketball has their first game upcoming soon. They beat Colorado on Sunday, 82-67 in a game they dominated all the way through. We're joined now by Husker Online's Robin Washut, who was at that game and covered it. Robin, good morning. Thanks for joining us. I guess let me ask you this: did you expect anything like that outcome on Sunday with Nebraska really holding the lead big time the whole way through against Colorado?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you wouldn't rule anything out just because of all the unknowns about this team, but I was still surprised. I think in my prediction piece, I picked Colorado to win just because, they were widely considered off the limited analytics, preseason analytics that were out there to be one of the better teams in the country. I think the AP had them in their preseason poll at, as far as others receiving vote, right around 35. They were 35 in KenPom rankings going into the year, and so they did lose some pieces from last season's NCAA tournament team, but they also brought a lot back and added one of the top recruiting classes in the country. So that was a formidable challenge. And like you said, for Nebraska to not only win that game, but dominate it the way that they did. I mean, they never trailed in that game. They led by as many as 27 points in the second half. That was, like, and I wrote this, as big of a statement as maybe a team could make in a October 31st charity exhibition game. So certainly a good unofficial start to what has been a pretty optimistic year for this program.
Sort of the talk, Robin Washington of HuskerOnline.com during the preseason was this team is going to be much closer in terms of personnel to what Fred Hoiberg wants on offense than his other teams. That seems to be the case. How would you illustrate that?
I think the best way to picture that is, for one, you see they have their playmaker with Alonzo Verge at point guard. That's where it starts for me. For one, he is so quick off the dribble, and it is almost impossible for anyone to guard him one-on-one. When he has the ball at the top of the key, Nebraska spreads out his offense, and if you don't devote another body or two to the lane, he's going to have a high success rate at a layup. But the issue now is Nebraska actually has some shooters. You could hear at points, when Nebraska had the ball, Colorado's bench, when Verge would drive and kick out, you'd hear them yell "shooter," and they did that for about 4 different guys. At one point. And when they yell "shooter," that means in the scouting report they've identified this person as a legitimate 3-point threat.
Right.
And so that, I think, is the perfect picture. Is you have this guy that Tad Boyle said that they've known he's a hell of a player for years, going back to his time at Arizona State, running the show, who you have to commit more than just one guy to stop. Otherwise, he's going to blow by you for a layup. And then 3 or even 4 other shooters on the floor at any given time around him, and that's a very difficult task for any opposing defense to be able to have to account for that much firepower. And the key is those shooters have to make their shot, and they did against Colorado. And when the perimeter shooting is what it was on Sunday, and Verge is playing at that type of level, like I said, that's about as difficult of a task as any opposing defense is going to face.
Let me ask you this then, Robin, regarding Nebraska. You mentioned that at Colorado they were yelling "shooter" for a couple guys there. I'm curious, will this be a good 3-point shooting team or an inconsistent one?
I think good. There's going to be off nights, but there's also going to be nights where they're unconscious and they boat race a team that they might either be, evenly matched up with, or even a bit of an underdog, just because that's what 3-point shooting does. That's why the game of basketball has evolved the way that it does, because it can totally change the course of the game. And when you look at the number of guys that are capable of going off from 3-point range, they can legitimately have 5 3-point shooters on the floor at one time. And so that's a dynamic that Nebraska basketball hasn't had in a long time. They've usually just had like 1, maybe 2 guys that are even capable 3-point shooters. Well, now they've got a whole roster full of them, and I think that in itself gives you better odds to have better shooting nights. And like I said, there's going to be nights where it's just off. That's the nature of the game. But I think more often than not, you're going to see them. I think the last couple of games they've averaged around 11, 12 3-pointers, shooting right around 45-50% from behind the arc. That's pretty darn good. Now that needs to carry over, but the fact that they shot that way against Colorado with their length and athleticism shows that that's certainly capable of carrying over when the calendar turns to December and those high major opponents start coming in.
This is a question that can give us a better idea about Nebraska. But what did Colorado look like to you, Rob? You cover basketball at a high level. You watch a lot of you watch everything. What did Colorado look like to you? Did they look like a top 40 team?
Well, like I said, it was hard to say because, they did not play that well, or at least Nebraska played that much better. But from a physical standpoint, they had 7-footers. They had athleticism. They had a lot of length at every position, to where I think they had like 6 or 7 guys that were 6'8" or taller, and so there's a reason why they dominated the boards that way. I mean, they had 23 offensive rebounds, and a lot of that is just because they had bigger, longer players in the front court. So, you know, I think that kind of was maybe the most important thing at all, is that Nebraska faced a opposing lineup that is going to be at least somewhat similar to what they're going to see in the Big Ten. And yes, like we knew, they're going to struggle on the glass. And that was a real issue that I don't know how you solve that, but they've shown that they are capable of countering that against that type of physical challenge, you know, in terms of height and length, that, you know, they were able to basically just outshoot it and outscore it and counter the deficiencies they might have on the defensive glass to, you know, be able to, like I said, make up for it with their high-powered offense.
Robin, always great insight. Thanks for your time. We will chat with you again next week.
Sounds good, guys. See you later.
Because the Husker Online's Robin Washit. Again, Nebraska, yes, 82-67 victors over Colorado in a game that I wish it counted, but it didn't count.
Right.
Because it was an impressive win. It'd be a nice win for your resume to have that.
Well, I think it's important for those guys. It's a good confidence booster.
That's absolutely that. It has to be.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean,
how can it not be a confidence booster?
Right. And I think I think that surge of energy this time of year when you've been practicing a lot and not playing a lot, I think that can be really important. So I do think it was important. Even though it was an exhibition, I do think it was important.
Yeah, I still walk away not surprised that they won, but just the way it went. I mean, they led by 27 points at one time. And it just looked easy. Their passing was great. They made open shots. It was beautiful. I mean, they got sloppy toward the end at times, but when they had that big lead, they were doing everything right. It was clinical.
Yeah, you're not. I thought maybe you would react with more excitement.
Well, it didn't count is the problem.
Right. Okay.
If it said 1-0 Nebraska after a win against Colorado to start the year, there's a lot more excitement because it counts in the resume.
You're not always that grounded, is what I'm saying.
I've been grounded by other things that have, detracted me there.
All right. Let's play the game show.
Let's do it. Give us a call right now, 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. Today is a topic I think Sip will do very well at, but don't be scared of him. He can slip up once in a while on this. Home states of current Huskers.
Oh, gosh.
Home state of current Nebraska football players. Current ones.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the callers, I want to tell you something. I'm better with former, actually.
Well, I think they know that.
Yeah.
Current guys in the team. What states are these guys from? 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Don't be scared. Give us a call, 402-464-5685.
This is weird.
Who knows the home states of current Husker football players? We got a caller. Harrison's getting lined up right now. You say you don't feel great about
Not
this.
great. I feel better about former Huskers home states for some reason.
Is there like a particular time frame you feel best about?
From 1995
to when's the cutoff?
2015.
Okay. That makes about sense for this program, so understandably so. I don't know how I would do in general with these ones or ones in the past. It's like for these guys, how they do in college.
Yeah, you have a different kind of job than I got.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Clint, how do you feel about home states of current Husker football players?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad.
All right, Clint.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thanks for joining the show today.
Absolutely.
All right, Clint, first question goes to you. What state is outside linebacker Jamari Butler from?
Jamari Butler, I want to say, is it Alabama?
Good job.
Mobile, Alabama is
Good
correct.
job.
Yes, a 1-0 lead.
Good job. I would have gotten that one, but I was a little bit hesitant.
I wouldn't have had it if you had asked me that question, but I asked you. So, all right, 1-0 lead for Clint to tie it up. Your first question, Sip. What state is defensive back Miles Farmer from?
He has to be from the state of Georgia.
Is he from Georgia? Georgia is correct. From Atlanta, Georgia, actually. All right, for the lead, Clint, your last question. What state is running back Ramir Johnson from?
Jersey.
He's from Oradell, New Jersey.
Okay, this is.
Did you have that one?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. For the tie, Sip, your last question to force the tiebreaker. What state is defensive end Tate Wilderman from?
He's from the state of Colorado.
From Parker, Colorado. So we're going to the tiebreaker. This goes to Clint because it went to you last time. So you'll go over under Clint's answer. Clint, question to you. What is William Pristup's listed weight on the official Husker football roster? Nebraska's punter, William Pristup. What's his listed weight?
Really random.
Well, that's how it goes to the tiebreaker.
That is very random.
What you get? The punter.
I think he's a bigger kid though, so I'm gonna go. I don't know. I'm gonna go 210.
210.
I was on the elevator with him the other day. No, Harrison, he's way over 210. Over.
250 is what they list him at on the roster.
250 seems really high.
He's way bigger than 210.
He's way bigger than 210.
Clint, nice try. We'll get you back on the coffee, but call in down the road.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Good
Clint.
game today. Good
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
You both got your questions right today?
Yeah, what is the record? Harrison's going to scribble the record on the
22 and 17, maybe?
22 and 18 since the reset.
That's right.
So I just want to stay way over 500. 22 and 18. Thank you, Jake. That was a good game.
Well, congrats to you.
Thank you. I'll accept that.
Nice win today.
Thank you.
By the way, because you won today, you are not looking for a job, but someone out there might be, and I have an opportunity for you right now.
My job was on the line. Is that what you're telling me?
If you want a great job that pays well, place in town called Continental Conti Tech. They start at $21.72 an hour in production operators, and some select jobs get up to $23.42 per hour. This is Continental and Lincoln here.
Okay.
75 years of doing business.
Okay.
4 generations of families have worked here. It is a career, not just a job.
Nice.
Again, starting pay $21.72. Some start at $23.42. You can grow into wages up to $27.55 or even $29.29 per hour. They have salary jobs, great benefits, medical prescriptions at low premiums, and they have dental, vision, and life insurance offered at no premium cost to the associates. Go to continental-jobs.com for more info on jobs. Keyword Lincoln. Again, that's Continental Conti Tech, paying some good money off the bat.
Thank you for that, Jake.
You're welcome. When we come back, we will bring in Happer and Schaefer for the spillover on early break on the ticket. Last thing before break, guys, it's getting darker and colder outside every day. That means your time playing golf, tennis, whatever you do outside is getting limited, but you can always find things to do inside, including craft axe throwing in Lincoln. They're open 7 days a week from 4 to 9 p.m. on Monday through Thursday, from noon to 11 on Friday, Saturday, and from noon to 9 on Sunday. Parties and events are welcome anytime. For more information, call them at 402-802-9696 or go to craftaxethrowing.com. That's Craft Axe Throwing, 18th and N in Lincoln.
At MD Pain, we know chronic pain is a problem. It can lead to isolation, depression, and the inability for you or a loved one to live the life you want. That doesn't need to happen. Chronic pain can be effectively managed. The doctors of MD Pain wrote the book on effective, ethical pain management. Get actual solutions with the most up-to-date, clinically proven treatment options available. No one has to suffer in silence. Get real treatment for chronic pain. Call MD Pain.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Some patchy fog will be possible this morning, but overall cloudy and a bit cool here for our Tuesday. We'll top out near 46 with a light south wind at 5. Areas of fog possible again tonight with a low down to around 29. And not much of an improvement tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of around 47. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hard-working, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
The weather has changed, and now it's time to adjust your footwear to change along with it. Stop into Brown's Shoe Fit at 66th and Q to get ready for cooler temperatures and fashion trends. They're stocked with Hey Dudes, Brooks, New Balance, Danner boots, Keen or Merrill hiking boots, and plenty of other options. Plus, they have Nordic beach jackets and Bindle tumblers to take to the gym with your new athletic shoes. So get to Brown's Shoe Fit today at 66th and Q.
My name is Rebecca. I struggled with depression for years. I also smoked. That was my world. Finally, I realized that smoking wasn't helping me. It was making my life worse. So I took control and I quit. Now I'm able to run again and take walks with my grandkids. My tip is there's another world out there, and it's a beautiful place to be.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome back, Husker fans. Eustace Body Shop is happy to welcome the best fans in college football back to Lincoln. With gold-class certified service, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop can call the right plays to keep you in the game. Whether it's in Lincoln at 88th and Highway 2 or at any of our other 5 locations across Nebraska, Eustace Body Shop can help get you back on the road. Go Big Red.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Join DP and Jay Foreman on Wednesday at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. DP goes 1-1 with Husker Online Sean Callahan at 3, and Jay joins from 4 to 6 p.m. to preview the Ohio State game and more. That's all this Wednesday at Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This
Well, good morning, little brother.
is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover with Connor Happer. Mike Schaefer here shortly. Good morning, Happer.
Hello.
How you doing, Hap?
Great.
You were doing PA last night for the women's basketball game. Nebraska beat Midland exhibition.
Midland. Yeah.
Midland.
No, that's what
Midland.
Booby Miles calls it.
Oh, okay.
On Friday
Gotcha.
Night Lights.
The
What are you
score.
doing with your
The
hand?
score.
What is that hand?
I think it was 87-43.
Big
or
win.
Something.
So they beat them resoundingly.
87-42.
So Nebraska women beat Midland resoundingly in
Yes.
front of a crowd that was bigger than you thought it would
yes.
be.
Mm-hmm.
This
People
is-
were excited to get back into the building.
Your early impressions of Amy Williams' squad are favorable.
They are. I expected this team to be pretty good, and I think they will be.
What is pretty good? Is that tournament team or is that on the fringe?
I think that's
What's that?
fair. I think that's a fair expectation. It was
Okay.
an NIT team last year, and they
Okay.
were awfully beat up. And they, the thing about Amy is they always tend to get more out of it than you think. And that they haven't quite had the pieces over the last few years. I mean, last year I thought they were going to be pretty bad, and they ended up basically Sam Hybe just ended up just taking him to the NIT by herself.
Right, that's right.
So if that theory holds and continues, it should be an NCAA tournament.
That is a dedicated fan base. They have a very
They do. Oh yeah.
They have a very, how would you describe it, Happer? I mean, very loyal.
Yeah,
core.
it's the same people.
A very
every year.
loyal
Yeah.
core.
It's
a very loyal core
for sure.
Who is good in women's basketball in the Big Ten? Do we know who's top?
Well, I can tell you who's
What
good
are
basically every year,
Okay.
and there's always a bunch of. It's almost like volleyball, kind of. There's a lot of good teams. I don't know. Maybe this is the difference from volleyball. I don't know if there's like a national championship type of team because that's usually just South Carolina and UConn. But
yeah.
Maryland's always very good.
Okay.
Yes.
Isn't Rutgers pretty good usually?
Rutgers always very good.
See Vivian Stringer.
Yep, still
Nice
there.
job, Jake.
Yeah, she's been coaching for a long time in college basketball.
Yes, she has. I mean, I think Iowa will probably be top 15 with Caitlin Clark back.
Yes, that gal is crazy. Good.
Northwestern was good last year. I mean, there's a whole bunch of top 25 teams.
Okay. Thank you, Happer.
Hello, Michael.
Hello.
You're here?
Schaefer is here.
Yes, we're talking about women's basketball.
Excellent.
Happer
What
was
can I
on
add?
PA last night. Have you been to? When's the last time you went to a women's basketball game?
Mm. What about you, Jake?
I was there 2 years ago. I went to a game 2 years ago. They played Northwestern. I was there for some reason 2 years ago.
I don't remember. I feel like I've been once in PBA for it. I went to several games a year that they were undefeated at the Devaney. With
2010, I think, right?
Yeah.
I went to a lot
It was
of those
2009,
games.
2010.
Yep, that's the year. My freshman year.
Yep.
Yep.
I can't
Went to
remember
a lot of those games.
Kelsey
Griffin.
There it is.
Corey Montgomery, Vonnie Turner.
Nice job, Jake. Keep going. Dominique Kelly.
Dominic Kelly was on that team.
I was like that. Well, that was their team.
They were good.
That
They
was
were undefeated.
That was the
for,
team to beat all teams.
They were number
yeah.
one seed in the tournament.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was an amazing year.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, they were filling the Devaney.
Probably went to
filling.
4 or 5 games that year.
Yeah, filling.
There was a game. Yeah, there was like a game against Kansas State. They had like 13,000 people at the
They're
Devaney
filling it
on a Saturday
Awesome.
morning. It was
Yes.
it was crazy.
Awesome.
It was
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, it
We need
was.
that again.
Yeah,
That'd be
let's
great.
Let's
get that
get,
rolling.
That'd be
let's get a
incredible.
one seed in the tournament again. That'd be awesome.
That'd be
32 and 0
Wouldn't that be
at one
something?
point. Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't think this team's going to go undefeated, but
I
think
think
it should
happen
be
with his
okay.
cold water
Yeah,
here. on
pour it
the
all
morning.
over us. Come on.
my apologies.
No,
Pour it
you're
all
fine.
over us.
What else, Jake?
Well, I think last night was interesting. I know Happer was doing basketball, but I think if you're a Chiefs fan in the NFL, you're still very concerned about what's going on. The Chiefs had to come back and beat the Giants on their home field in Kansas City. Last second field goal to win the game 20-17, but they were down 17-14. They got the Packers next week. They're 4-4 now. I'm telling you, the Chiefs have looked bad all year long, and I thought they might have a get-right game last night. They're not right at all. What's happening? What's wrong with the Chiefs?
Well, I thought the broadcast last night, like not the Manning cast, I didn't watch that, but
You did
the
watch
actual broadcast, they showed where basically safeties are just sitting high against the Chiefs. Like
They're
it's
shelling
just
them.
like it's basically like we don't think Patrick Mahomes is willing to just dink and dunk down the field, and he's not. Like he'll do it for 2 plays, and then you see him get antsy, and then he uncorks a bomb, and he's not nearly as accurate this year. That's probably the other thing that is most striking about him is that even on throws over the middle, he's behind a lot of guys. He's on the deep shots, he's throwing the ball out of bounds, so they don't even really have opportunities.
Trying to do a little too much
to catch him. So the defensive strategy against the Chiefs anymore is like, okay, well, if you want to throw 12 times to Hill and just let him run around, we don't think you're willing to do that all the way down the field. And then they just have like some really amazing turnover regression. The last couple years, they managed to avoid it. This year, it's like Travis Kelce finally gets his second catch. The broadcast loses their mind because they spent 2 quarters talking about how the hell Travis Kelce doesn't have a second catch. He finally gets it, immediately fumbles.
Okay.
The ball, yeah.
You know, the first interception for Mahomes, or the only interception for Mahomes, was a bad jump pass that went past his intended target, drilled Jerick McKinnon in the face mask, shot 27 feet in the air, and then was like almost fair caught by the Giants player in the end zone. So it's just like all the stupid stuff that they were able to avoid for a couple years is just coming after them really hard.
Is their line okay?
They're a terrible offensive line.
Okay, well, there you go.
They're not
They're
okay.
a terrible defensive line.
Okay.
Like they're not a good. They have superstars that are sort of keeping them scary. But as far as like a fundamental football team, they are terrible in several spots. Like their offensive line and defensive line isn't very good. Neither their second or third level. Like
their defense
Tyrann
is
Matthew
bad.
is
the defense
fine,
is bad.
but the rest of it is pretty ugly. Like it.
How did this happen?
Danny Dimes looked like he was way too comfortable for 97% of that game. So, and that's not a guy that's
the Dan wagon.
How did this happen?
Yeah,
How
this
did
is
the
a team that made
regression happen
back-to-back
so
Super
quickly?
Bowls.
Yeah.
You have to, you spend a ton of money to give Patrick Mahomes a huge extension. You keep a lot of Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, and you're not able to funnel money to your offensive line. It gets old. Offensive line in the NFL is really hard. I mean,
Well, and to go to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, you got to have some things go your way. And you just mentioned it with the turnover stuff.
You know what? I mean, I asked you that question. You could easily say, Sip, I don't cover the NFL. That's pretty good. You gave it a good answer. That's a hard answer.
That's the NFL.
That's a hard answer. That's a hard question to answer. What's happened to the Chiefs?
well, I mean, they spent 4 hours talking.
Well, I also think
So I'm probably regurgitating to a degree.
there's probably an element to people have kind of figured them out too. And
Yeah.
you mentioned it; they're kind of shelling them in a little bit. So
They don't have another weapon opposite of Kelce and Hill that scares anybody.
Who's
you
their
can
running back?
You can run McCole Hardman down
Clyde
the field.
Edwards, Hilaire.
We had a guy named Gore running last night. Who was that?
I don't know who Derek Gore is.
Yeah, Derek Gore. I never heard of him before.
Gore.
It wasn't Frank Gore.
It was
It was
not Frank Gore.
I'm not even sure. It could be Frank's son. That's how long Frank has been around.
Yeah.
Frank's son's still at Southern Miss, I think.
So it's
that
not
right?
Frank's son.
His son's in college, and Frank Gore's in the NFL still.
So
I think
Incredible. By
Is
the way.
Frank?
That's amazing.
Is
That
Frank
is
still
incredible.
kicking?
I don't know if he's on the team. Let me check it
If
out.
you think about that,
Don't use
that's
that computer.
incredible.
Oh, yeah, good call. I might-
That is
that was a mistake. I
incredible
should have done that.
that Gore has a kid in college. He's in the NFL.
He was for sure playing last year. He
yeah,
played
he was
last year. I don't know if he's on
for
the team right
I
now.
saw
or
a
not.
stat. So Adrian Peterson was signed by the Titans.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's only 3 other players remaining from his draft class.
2007.
In the NFL.
That's
There's
incredible.
3?
Well, there's 2 holders,
Oh,
like in a place kicker.
that's
I think.
amazing. That's amazing.
I was dumbfounded.
That is amazing.
That was 14 years ago. 07. That's a
Yeah.
long. That's a long NFL
Yeah.
career there.
I don't think it doesn't look like Frank Gore is on NFL.
Yeah, I
roster.
don't
Did
think-
he
I think
play
you'd
last
know.
year? He did play last year. I'm
He
pretty
was
sure.
on a team last year.
I think you'd know. if he
Somebody go
was.
sign Frank. He's
No,
got some
no one
juice
really
still.
wants to be around to help him pass like whoever to move to number 3 all time on the rushing list.
Frank was on the Jets last year, and he ran for almost 700 yards.
Yeah, he was good. He was tough to bring down. He always has been.
Who do the Dolphins and Jets play?
Not soon enough. I want to win.
Well, I don't know if you're going to get
yeah.
one.
They beat
Mike
good,
White's
no,
here.
they beat good teams. They lose to bad teams. So we'll beat the Jets. They beat
So
the
the Jets are
Bengals.
good now.
No, the Jets beat good teams.
but what
They
do the
lose to
Dolphins
everyone
beat?
else?
Yeah, what did the Dolphins beat?
The Dolphins beat the bad teams, except for Jacksonville. Hey, I'll tell you this.
This is so weird.
I'm making a proclamation right now.
I love this.
Oh,
All
great.
of these,
No, no.
anytime the NFL comes up, I can turn it back to the Dolphins, and Jenkins just forced
This-
to-
Schaefer, we're about to get a
This is my
proclamation.
proclamation. The Dolphins host the Texans this Sunday. If they lose that game,
What happened?
Oh yeah.
you fire the entire staff immediately.
That's not a proclamation.
Oh yeah, it's a
Yeah,
proclamation.
you're-
How is it not a proclamation?
It's not really a
I'm saying
You don't have any
everyone.
control
You're
over it.
proclamating.
No, you're not. It's something.
If
But
I
it's
were,
not a
if I
proclamation.
were
You're making a statement
the owner,
of which you have no effect,
they're all gone.
and you're not the owner.
Hey, Jake. That's interesting. Would you seriously do that?
I would get them all out of
Jake
there.
would have fired the
It's
staff 3
disaster.
weeks
The
ago.
team was 10-6 last year. They fell apart. Like
Here's the next 6 weeks for your boys.
Texans win.
Ravens,
lost. I'll be at that game.
Jets,
Win.
Panthers.
Win.
How
Okay.
could you be so optimistic?
So now they're 4
Yeah.
and 4 and 8. They're turning things around.
4-8. Yeah.
Giants,
Win. Ooh.
5 and 8. Here they come.
Jets.
Win.
6 and 8. We're back. We're back.
Wow. What's after that?
now,
Keep
hold on.
going. 6 and 8.
Okay. Saints,
Lost.
6 and 9.
Titans,
Lost.
6 and 10.
Patriots.
Win in Miami.
7 and 10.
Let's go.
We're Brian Flores is back.
There's one-
Simple. They're going to go 7 and 10.
There's
now.
one question we have to ask.
They are 1 and 7.
What
they-
drug is he
If
on?
No,
they
if they
lose
lose-
the Texans, then they're not
Who's
doing anything.
coaching? Who's coaching if you fire the staff?
Well, he's saying that if they lose to the Texans,
Bring
but
back
he just-
Don Shula from the grave.
No, but you got to have. It's just a very elementary question. If you fire the entire staff, what are you doing? I mean, where are you getting
They're
that?
going to win all those
from?
games without a coach? Yeah.
It's
They don't
amazing.
need a coach.
Jake is going to coach him.
I'm going to go coach.
You and Lee Sterling.
Yeah.
You're going?
Me-
You're going to the Ravens game?
Yeah, I'm going to be there next Thursday.
Wow.
You hope it's a
Gone.
replay of the Greg Camarillo game?
That'd be nice. Sure. The Dolphins only that was their first win of the season that year.
I know.
Their only win of the season.
I think about that game at least like
He
twice
went
a year.
to the
for some
Vikings
reason.
after
I
the
know.
Dolphins.
I'm
Did
well
you
aware.
like him at all or not?
Yeah, no. I mean, his entire role was to fair catch punts. I see
Well,
enough
that's
of
a
that.
role.
on
That's a
Saturday,
role.
so.
Yeah. Hey, so you're going to be at Hard Rock Stadium?
Yeah, I'll send pictures.
Yeah,
I'll
I
send
know you
updates.
will. I can't
What
wait.
gave you that? I just,
Kind of the anniversary trip.
There you go.
Bye weekend. Huskers aren't playing that weekend, Saturday.
That's true. I forgot
so that's
about
why
that.
I'm leaving.
All right.
I'll be back.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, I'll be back Sunday.
See
Don't
ya.
worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hot rock! Red 7, red 7, red 7! Hot rock! Down, set, hut.
Game 6 tonight in the World Series. Will we have a Game 7 or does it end tonight in Houston?
I think the Braves have to sweat out one more game. It goes to Game 7.
Yeah, let's
Give me the Astros.
I would
tonight.
like there to be a game 7.
But what do you expect, though?
I don't know. It's a baseball game.
Come on, Happer. That's your expertise.
You're the baseball
We have
guy.
Max Fried against Garcia. Who's Garcia?
Luis Garcia.
He is Garcia to me, and I think the Astros win Game 7.
So we're going to Game 7. I mean, I said I think the Braves will win the series. I'm just going to keep it at
It's
that.
going to Game 7.
Wow,
It's
we all think it's going to Game
See,
7.
that's a proclamation.
My proclamation is the Dolphins will fire the entire staff then if
No,
they
that's
lose to the
just an
Texans.
absurdity.
That's not
If they
absurd.
lose. Do you think they'll lose to the Texans?
If they do, I'm okay. How about this?
Could the
If-
Dolphins
How
beat
about
the
what?
Astros?
I can't say because I'm going to be at the Ravens game. I would say I would not watch a game the rest of the year, but I'm going to watch the Ravens game.
Yeah. That's cool.
that could have been a proclamation.
That's
I
cool.
know,
You're
but
gonna
okay.
go see the Ravens.
You were
Yeah.
ramping up for a
I
proclamation.
know.
You
that-
realized you couldn't hold
God,
it.
I'm going to that game on Thursday.
Wow.
It's going to be pain. All right. Happer and Schaefer's next for Steve Sipple. I'm Jake Sorensen. See you.
Tired of the ugly side?